Hi, and welcome for a new video on English for Engineering. My name is Sharif Ismail. I'm an English language fellow here in Mongolia. Today we'll be talking about software engineering. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at different vocabulary words such as the word software, hardware, computer science, software engineering, software development, software design, software operation, quality, test as a verb, problem modeling, the verb verify and the noun verification, maintain, maintenance, validate, validation, assess, and assessment. As you know, there's a big difference between software and hardware. Um, there's also a difference between computer science and software engineering. Computer science deals with different types of topics, including hardware systems, software systems, computer theory, scientific computing, while computer engineering only deals with the software systems portion, including cybersecurity, design automation, networking, machine intelligence, biomedical, embedded systems, and computer software. What do we see here in the picture? We see different softwares designed for different purposes. Which is which? Which one is the restaurant software, do you think? Yes, this is the restaurant software on the right, the top right. Which one is the car diagnostics software? It's the one at the bottom to the left. You connect this to your car and it tells you the error codes on your car. The car has sensors that are connected to your car computer. Inventory software, it's this here, right bottom. You can scan the items with a scanner, and you have a printer that prints labels. You can label things. It's a whole system that you could buy together. It has also shipment label printer. So if you want to print labels and ship things, so it's a complete software. It's made for inventory. You also have retail or supermarket software, which is the one to the top. You scan the items like when you go to the supermarket or the store, you scan items. It identifies the item and it would list the price and it helps you check out fast. What other software could you think of? There's so much software that is being used to help us in our daily life. Could you think of any more software? Let's talk about software development cycle. Software development starts with planning, analysis, design, implementation, testing, integration, and maintenance. Planning, you first start with planning your software, find what are the needs of your customer. For example, you have somebody come to you and ask you to develop a software for a specific task. Okay. Um, Maybe somebody started a supermarket business and he'd like cheaper software than the expensive softwares on the market. So you could develop software that checks out items and it has an inventory portion where your customer can use it for inventory and for sales. First, you need to plan, you analyze, you design your software matching the needs of your customer. Implementation process, you actually have a prototype of the software, you test it, you integrate it, and in the future you maintain it because this customer will come back to you and tell you, I have some bugs on the system or the system has stopped working. So you need to continue with maintenance and customer support. Software quality management. Software can be very dangerous sometimes because it handles very serious tasks. For example, the ATM that you use, it has a software, computer software. So this could be very serious if there is a bug or there's an error. it can cause a problem. It could dispense money that you know that could be very dangerous. Restaurant software or sales software also calculates money for you. So if there's anything wrong with the system, you will get the wrong amount of money at the end of the day. Software is being used in the medical field, even for surgeries. So this could be very, very dangerous. And therefore, for the software quality management, there are two important aspects that software has to go through: verification and validation. Verification and validation are important aspects of software quality management before the software is being released. Verification gives the answer to the question whether the software is being developed in a correct way, making sure there are no errors, no problems with the software, you know, and it's going to be safe to use. But validation provides the answer whether the right software is being produced. For example, if a doctor asks you to develop a software to do a certain task, you need to make sure that you meet the needs of this doctor and make sure your software can do the job that it's designed or produced to do. Here we have an example. Somebody comes to you, your customer comes to you and tells you about his or her needs. I need a software for this, this, and that. So you need to write down these needs, identify the needs, plan the software. Then you develop the concepts, create high level design. You create the design, which is the conceptual design. Develop and optimize a prototype detailed design for the software. Then test and refine final design production ramp up. Make sure that your software works and it works fine. No glitches, no errors, no bugs, no security issues. Okay, so this is the verification process. If the software achieves the task it's made for, then it's valid. And that's what we call validation. Here's a quick uh, comparison between validation and verification. Here in verification, the product meets the given requirements or not. In validation, the product meets the customer needs or not, like I mentioned before. Verification, internal process done by quality control department. Validation, external process done by the customer. The customer would check the system that you developed, making sure that it does what he asked you to, what he asked you to do. But for this one, it's going to be software engineers. They're going to make sure that you did everything right with that software. It is done in a control quality process. The validation is done in validate scope process. Verification of products, if the product meets requirements, it does not matter if it is not suitable for the customer needs or not. So the verification process, all it cares about is the quality of the software itself. Did you follow all the code guidelines? Did you follow safety guidelines and all that? While the validation, sustainability to customer need is very important. Here, we focus on if your software will meet the needs of the customer or not. Did you do what the customer asked you to do? So, if a doctor asked you to develop a software, then it needs to work for a doctor, not for a mechanic, not for a teacher, not for a store clerk. Software maintenance, which is the last stage after you develop the software and it passes through quality control department. Now you have to maintain the software. So usually you have a help desk to help your customers with software maintenance. There are different types of maintenance as we see here. There's corrective maintenance, adaptive, perfective, preventive. The word corrective comes from the word correct. Corrective here, you correct any bug or you fix any bug that comes along with the software. Sometimes you see some ATM machines, they stop working. There is a bug on the software. So you go and you maintain the software. Adaptive, if there is any problem, you adapt or you upgrade your system. There are a lot of apps on the phone now that they have a lot of updates. So adaptive, you adapt to the new technology. If there is new operating system, you have to update the app. Or perfective, it comes from the word perfect. So you enhance your software. It also has something to do with um, upgrading. Preventive, if there is anything that prevents the system from working, then you need to re-engineer your software. Here we have a quiz. I want you to pause the video and look at these questions and find the correct answer. So go ahead and pause the video. All right. Thank you for taking the time to choose the correct answer. Now let's check your answers. Now we have another quiz, quiz 2. I want you to pause the video, read the questions, go back to the video slides, or go back to the main points in the video to review this information if you don't know the answer, and come back and answer these questions. Go ahead and pause the video now, read the questions, and find the answers. All right. Thank you for answering these questions. Let's go ahead and check the answers. All right. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Today we talked about software engineering and we talked about the main vocabulary words of this uh, lesson, including software engineering, validation and verification, software design, the difference between validation and verification. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.